The crimson sun hung low over the endless dunes of Zyre 9, casting shadows that stretched like the fingers of a dying giant. It was here, on the bleeding edge of the habitable zone, that the horizon didn't just darken, it erupted. A Titan-class freighter, sabotaged by a cold, distant hand, screamed through the atmosphere, its navigation systems dead, its fate sealed. Light years away, in the opulent silence of Zerth Prime, Lord Varen watched the disaster unfold on a holographic display. With blue skin cool as marble and yellow eyes narrowed in calculation, he viewed the massacre not as a tragedy, but as a line-item deletion. His niece Lyra was aboard. Her death was the final transaction required to secure his stolen throne. In stories like this, one can't help but see echoes of our own world's cruelty, where power often wears a mask of civility while signing death warrants. Down in the cratered sand, the air tasted of ash and burning polymers. Rick Tarville set his ship, the Void Runner, down amidst the carnage. He was a man who had learned to travel light, carrying only the scars of a betrayal 3 years past, when his own crew, people like Jen and Marcus, had locked him in an escape pod to steal a payload, telling him it was just business. He walked into the inferno expecting only the dead. Instead, he found a flicker of life. Lyra, pinned beneath a twisted bulkhead, her silver hair reflecting the flames, fought for breath. She called out in a lyrical alien tongue, her eyes wide with a terror that transcended language. Rick didn't hesitate. He leveraged a pipe against the debris, straining until the metal groaned and yielded, pulling the blue-skinned stranger from the fire just as the scavengers arrived. But these weren't ordinary looters. They were professionals, led by Claw, a hulking figure with a vicious mechanical arm. They demanded the girl, their weapons leveled with lethal precision. Rick realized instantly that Lyra wasn't just a survivor, she was a target. In a blur of pulse fire and desperate motion, they scrambled aboard the Void Runner. The ship roared to life, blasting into the sky just as Claw's metal fingers gouged the hull, a screech of frustration that faded into the vacuum. Safe in the black, the truth surfaced. Lyra revealed the spiral scar on her arm, the mark of Zerth Prime's royalty. She was the rightful heir, and her blood was the key to the ancient planetary systems Varen needed to legitimize his rule. But the Void offered no sanctuary. 3 Hawker-class fighters, sleek and deadly, ambushed them. Outgunned and outmaneuvered, Rick made a choice that danced on the edge of madness. He plunged the Void Runner into a gravity storm, a region of warp space where the laws of physics fractured. Lyra called it suicide. Rick called it a detour. As the ship groaned under the shearing forces, a pursuing fighter crumbled like paper, crushed by the invisible hands of the storm. They emerged battered but free, limping to an abandoned mining station to repair their wounds. It was there, in the shadows of the station, that the bond between pilot and princess hardened into steel. Claw had tracked them, ambushing them in the mess hall. The fight was visceral and desperate. Rick jammed his blaster into the joints of Claw's mechanical limb, frying the circuitry, while Lyra fought with a royal fury, wielding a metal pipe to lay out her attackers. Standing amidst the unconscious hunters, breathless and bruised, they realized they were done running. They sought the resistance on Keon's Rock, where General Vex and an army of loyalists waited for a sign. The return to Zerth Prime was a storm of justice. While the resistance engaged the usurpers' forces, Rick and Lyra infiltrated the palace. In the throne room, Varen played his final desperate hand. He activated the ancient defenses, sealing himself behind energy fields that only royal blood could lower. As automated weapons pinned Rick's strike team down, Lyra vanished into the maintenance tunnels, the veins of the palace she knew as a child. She emerged beneath the throne, her hand pressing the controls. The shields fell. Lyra vaulted onto the platform, her father's ceremonial dagger in hand. She moved with a fluid lethality, disarming Varen and bringing him to his knees. The usurper, staring up at the niece he tried to erase, offered her the world. He spoke of a partnership, of the power they could wield together, trying to seduce her with the very ambition that had corrupted him. It was the ultimate test of character. But Lyra rejected the darkness. She chose justice over dominion, arresting him not with rage, but with the icy authority of a true queen. As peace settled over the turquoise world, Rick stood on the Void Runner's ramp, ready to fade back into the stars. He wasn't built for thrones. Lyra came to him, stripping away the regalia to say goodbye. She didn't ask him to stay, understanding that some birds are born for the wind. Instead, she placed a bracelet of woven silver in his palm, a promise that he would always be found. As Rick engaged the hyperdrive, watching the planet shrink into the distance, he realized the cockpit didn't feel so empty anymore. He traveled alone, yes, but for the first time in years, he wasn't just drifting. He was moving forward, carrying a bond forged in fire that no distance could ever truly break.